So, if I ask you your name, would you like to share that?
Sure.
What's your name, sir?
Doug Levine.
Okay, my name is Mahfouz.
Very nice to meet you.
Nice meeting you. Yeah, I'm from Wallingford,
Yep.
and we're doing some public survey about people's faith. Okay, do you actually believe? What is your faith? If I ask you, what do you believe?
What do I believe, or what was I brought up as?
We're asking about your current situation. What do you believe?
Okay.
What's your
Well,
faith?
I'm Jewish. I was brought up in a Jewish family.
Yeah.
I am not a practicing Jew. I really recently joined the Unitarian Universalist Church in West Hartford, and I have I think, a very expansive view of what I consider myself.
I went there last week.
Spiritual. Huh?
I went there last
Oh, you
week.
did?
Yeah.
To do what?
Actually, we were doing some research on some of the faith around here.
Oh, yeah, that's
And
an interesting place.
we were talking even yesterday that the closest faith like to Islam is the Unitarian Christians.
Really? Yeah, that doesn't
Because-
surprise me.
Because we believe like, I was just even listening to, explaining to them like him, I think. Oh no, he left there. Sorry. So them that how universalist, Unitarian Christians. Are you talking about Unitarian?
Well, I'm not a Christian, but I'm a
Unitarian. That's what we were
I
talking
go
about,
to
right?
that church.
Yeah. So how Unitarian Christians' faith about Jesus,
Yep.
about God, is like 100% matched to what Muslims believe.
Well, Jesus, you believe Jesus was a prophet, correct?
We believe that he was the Messiah. He was
Okay.
a messenger. He was a prophet. Everything.
And but that Muhammad was the final.
We
Prophet.
believe Muhammad was
Yeah,
the last
yeah,
messenger.
right.
But Jesus was the last messenger to the Israelites.
Right.
That's what we believe.
Yeah, that's very interesting.
Yeah.
The reason I'm attracted to the Unitarian Universalism is I believe it puts a strong emphasis not on doctrine or not on dogma. You don't have to believe this or that, but on living an ethical life. And to me, that's at the heart of all of the major religions. And I think they've distilled it into a very, very manageable, it's like a few bites and you can take it in. And I think that's, to me, I am not at all.
Are Universalist and Unitarian same?
What I understand is that the Unitarian movement and the Universalist movement separate.
Yes,
I'm
I
not
know.
an expert
So
on the history, but
they
I
call
think
it
they combine.
Universal Unitarians or Biblical Unitarians.
Unitarian Universalist entities, similar ideas, and they decided to
merge.
I believe that's
That's what I heard.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard also. So, what do you believe as a Universalist? Like, if you want to summarize your faith, how would you say that?
There's seven beliefs that are stated, and they all
What are
resolve
these? Like,
around being kind to people,
Mhm.
treating other people as you would like to be treated, which is the golden
Definitely,
rule,
yeah.
so-called.
Mhm.
Being thoughtful, understanding that we're all connected at the end of the day, and that sort of.
How are we connected? Like,
Well, I think
to the first human, Adam?
Well, I think we're all connected because my personal belief is that we were all a creation of the same God. So that's my belief.
Definitely, yeah.
And so, you look around, everybody here is animated. They have a spirit, and et cetera, et cetera. And it seems to me that I'm willing to accept the probability that everybody here was created in the same way ultimately.
Definitely.
And that we're all going to the same place ultimately.
Ultimately, we're going back to God.
I think so.
It came
I think
from
so.
them. And
is that the
from-
Muslim belief that when you die you go back to
Yeah,
God?
yeah.
It is.
It is like Islamic belief is that God created us, created the universe, and then eventually he created Adam when he decided to put man on earth, created Adam, and then we all are descendants of Adam. Okay?
Yep.
And then since he created him as his beloved servant in the beginning, but because of one of the mistake, he just sent him to this earth.
Right.
Okay, or maybe that paradise was in earth. There's a debate among the scholars. So he created Adam, and then we are from him.
Yeah.
And now he created
Probable.
Adam with his order or word, you can say. Like he wanted to create, whenever he wants to create something, he said be and it becomes. He just orders.
Right.
So he created Adam with his order, with his own hand as well. He
Right.
shaped him with his own hand.
Right.
And when we die, we're going to back to the God Almighty. So that's why we say when someone dies, whenever we hear a Muslim died or anyone died, we say Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. Indeed, we are for Allah, and indeed we are going back to Him. So that's like our immediate statement when someone dies.
It's like born in dust. And
Yes.
Yeah.
There's a verse in the Quran. It
Yes.
says that I have created you from dust. منها خلقناكم
Right.
وفيها نعيدكم ومنها نخرجكم تارة أخرى. I have created you from dust. I will take you back to dust, and I will resurrect you from the same dust
I think
again.
that's
And you will go
widely held
on the
belief
day of
for
judgment.
Jews and Christians, I think.
Yeah, the Abrahamic faiths.
And may I say one thing to you?
Yeah.
Because you are Muslims, you live in Wallingford. I think the portrayal of the Muslim faith in the media is radically wrong.
Yeah.
I think the focus is on the few people who I would call criminals and zealots, and it's not on the good and beautiful part of the religion. And I think I hope that improves over the years.
Yeah, that's one of our purpose too, like building relations, knowing about others, and letting them know what Islam is, and knowing their faiths. So it's not about like converting someone; it's about sharing the belief, because there is an order of God to us that "Qul say, ya ahl al-kitab, oh the people of the book," means Jewish and Christians. Ta'alaw ila kalima, come to a common word that is same between you and us. What is that? Allah na'budu illallah, that we will not worship anyone other than God. So
that's what I believe.
This is an order of God, that you go to the Jewish and Christians, talk to them, and say like, come to a common thing that we both have the same, we both agree on, and there is no God but God, and we don't worship anyone other than that one God.
Well, there's a very important Jewish prayer called the Shema.
Yeah.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God, the Lord is one.
That's the call of prayer, right?
Yes, it is. And that's, I don't know many of the prayers, even though I grew up with, hearing many of them. But that's, to me, that's the essence of Judaism, is that there's a God, a single one God. And I think that's largely comes out of the Jewish tradition. Although I've been told that there are other traditions earlier that had the same beliefs.
Yeah.
But right. There was one God, and here we are. I believe that.
We believe from the beginning of creation, and also from the beginning of man, there was only one religion: obedience to God.
Right.
Whatever language you use to describe that, this is a different issue. But the main essence is obedience to God.
And I would add this. I am not a doctrinaire person. I don't believe that there's a single truth in any of the religions. I think the truth is a complicated thing, and I respect people no matter what their belief or if they have no belief.
So let's say someone,
it's something that we have to all, because who am I to tell anyone what they should believe? I think that's the height of arrogance.
Not me, but God has that authority. So let's say God, if He is God and He is the creator of everything, we also believe He's an active God.
Right.
He's not dead. He's not inactive. He's not sleeping.
That's a Jewish belief too.
Yeah, he's an
active in history.
Yeah. So the same God who created us is also active. So He must have a system to guide us. He's trying to convey His message to us, right?
Right.
So we don't think like I have a right to tell you what is right and what is wrong, but I think God has the right.
Right.
So there must be.
This would be I don't want to get into a bad discussion, because all the major religions believe that they have the answer. All I'm trying to say is I mean, I'm being very candid. I don't think there is a single answer. I don't think any religion has the answer. I think there are many of this, like the flowers, many flowers in a garden, many roots to spirituality,
Yeah.
to God, and I don't think one is superior to another. I think that you just have to use your
But let's say
analytical
we
skills.
believe, let's say I respect Jesus as
Right,
the
right.
Messiah of God. I respect
Yes.
Moses as the messenger of God.
Right.
Respect all other prophets. But here's an issue. Let's say, if I ask you, what do you believe about Muhammad? Who was he?
Well, I've read
Did you study about him?
read a biography of Muhammad, and my sense is that he was an incredibly awakened individual who felt he had a calling and acted upon it. And I also understand that in many ways,
Why he would do that, risking his own life?
well, he felt he had a calling, you know. And I don't want to argue. I absolutely
No.
respect
We are
it.
talking.
He
Yeah.
felt he had a calling and he acted on it. And one of the great figures in human history, from what I can tell, he was also what we today would call a very open-minded person, because I believe he was acting in a religious environment which was much more closed. I think, you know, I'm not an expert, but like I say,
Did you study like the time period he came to, or the society he came to? Like, what was the condition of that society? What was the belief of people?
I haven't studied it. No,
Like people
I'm
used to.
relatively limited in my knowledge of Muhammad.
So like before Muhammad, the whole Arab was pagan. They used to worship idols.
Right.
They even set like 360 idols within the Kaaba arena.
Yeah,
And they worship that.
true. That's true in Israel as well. Before
Yes, definitely.
Moses, before Jesus.
No, that's we absolutely. Moses is the one of the central figure in Islamic history.
Well,
And in Quran, the name of Moses came, I think, 90.
Yeah,
The prophet who was mentioned the most in the Quran is Moses. Moses.
even any being, yeah, I think.
well, at Passover we
So
celebrate.
he is a messenger of God.
We celebrate the Exodus from Egypt, and Moses, of course, led the Jews out and led them through the desert, but he was not permitted to go into the Promised Land because the Bible says he disobeyed God. Even as great as he was.
We don't agree with that because we don't think any messenger can disobey God. Whatever Moses did was correct.
Okay.
Our respect is like that. We don't believe Moses can make mistake after becoming the prophet.
Okay,
Before becoming prophet, yeah, he punched someone and he.
Well, I think the
Someone
Jewish
died.
belief is that God gave him an order that he disobeyed and therefore was punished by not being permitted to. But that's I'm not listening. I'm not a theologian.
Yeah, it's okay.
my understanding
It's okay.
as a
That was the belief.
layperson.
But we respect Moses as one of the mightiest messenger of God, and we think he obeyed the orders of God like 100% without any mistake.
Okay.
Because part of our faith is that all the messengers of God are sinless. They never committed any sin.
Okay.
On all of the prophets.
Okay.
At least when they were appointed as a prophet. Before prophethood, maybe they might do a little bit of mistakes, but after becoming prophet, all the Muslim scholars agree no one committed any sin. All the messengers.
Listen,
So,
I'm open. People should believe what they want. People are their relationship to God or the Creator or the Great Spirit, as Native Americans. It's their business. And if they find a home in an organized religion, wonderful. And if they don't, it's wonderful. But I think I'm very, as you can see, I'm very non-dogmatic, very open-minded. And I think that's what a lot of Americans now would tell you. I was brought up in the Catholic Church, but you know, there are a lot of lapsed Catholics and there are a lot of lapsed Jews for that matter. But you know, that's my view that most Americans are very open-minded.
we also are trying to say that, like Moses, like Abraham, like Jesus, there was another prophet who came and claimed to be prophet. So either he was a liar, okay, he was lying, he was not a prophet, or he was really a prophet. These are the two options. The third option can be he was hallucinated, or he was maybe a crazy person.
Right.
Like he thought he was a prophet, but he was not. So these are three different possibilities.
I agree.
But if you then, if you want to say, let's say, he's a liar, for example,
I would
then
never say that.
okay. So then, if you don't say that, that's not an option. The second option is if he was hallucinated. So now, or he was a crazy person who thought there was God's angel came to him.
Right.
But then when you examine his life, you see he came to a society, they were like completely ignorant. They used to kill each other for no reason. They used to bury their daughters alive. And they used to worship 360 idols. And this same guy, he came and he said, "Oh people, oh my people, listen and listen that the Lord your God is one." The same message was what was
Right.
carried by Abraham,
Yeah.
Moses, and Jesus. I am carrying
Yep,
you the same
yep.
message.
Yep.
And God sent me as a messenger to you. You understand? Same people, he struggled.
Yeah.
He conveyed the message of one true God. And after 23 years of his mission, he established the oneness of God. Even though we can disagree on many political issues, control over, let's say, a land or something, but we agree there's one God. And that was
Well,
an
that's
achievement
our-
of,
That's my belief. It's your belief. Christians believe in the Trinity, which I understand to mean there are three aspects of God. And a lot of Christians rebelled. Actually, as I understand it, the Reformation, which was in the 1600s, was based on the proposition. A lot of the Unitarians, by the way,
yeah,
did not believe,
executed.
they believed there's a God and not three manifestations. But I don't really understand that. And you should speak to a
I'm
Catholic.
actually a student of religion. I did my
Right.
bachelor and master's in religious studies.
Oh, where?
So I in Bangladesh.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
In Bangladesh? Wow.
Bangladesh, yeah. I studied Islam. I studied world religion as minor.
Well, then you know a
I,
lot
I,
more than I do.
I don't know about that.
Well, you
but,
do.
but I studied actually Bible multiple times, Old
Right.
Testaments and New Testaments. My finding is like Trinity is a misunderstanding of God. It's my finding, it's my opinion. I'm not. People have right to believe
I have no opinions on anyone's beliefs. Their beliefs are theirs, and I have my own beliefs. But if you believe in the Trinity, that's fine with me. If you don't believe in it, that's fine with me.
Yeah,
I don't care.
Everyone, I don't care what people believe. I don't think like everyone has right to believe whatever they want. Okay?
Yes.
But at the same time, if the God who created us, he said, "I'm one and only," and someone say, "No, he is a Trinitarian God," so they contradict. Both cannot be simultaneously true. So
Yeah,
our
logical. Yeah.
it cannot be like either I'm wrong. God is not the only one God. Listen, O Israel, the Lord your God is one and alone. It's not the truth. The truth is God is a Trinitarian God.
Yeah.
But then you have to prove it from the Bible. There is no verse for that.
Let me say one thing. I want to continue walking.
Yeah.
In my opinion, nobody knows any of the truthful answers to any of this. Maybe when we die, something is revealed to us, but maybe not.
When we die, we
one
must gonna know what is truth.
I
But
hope
the
so.
test is,
I hope so.
are we trying our best in this life to know the truth?
I think
That's the test.
I think that's a good test.
And
I
God
think-
asks you, have you tried knowing the truth about me? Then what's going to be our answer?
I think another thing is being kind to others, being thoughtful, and trying to live an honest and upright life. If you can do it, and it's hard in this society. This society, in my opinion, has become extremely aggressive and materialistic.
I know.
And to the point where even the beautiful holidays are being ruined by material.
Yeah, that's true.
It's very sad. But anyway, let me continue my walk. But it's great talking to you.
Thanks.
Okay, would you like to take a copy of Quran to study if you want?
I have I would, but
this is like
I have a copy at home.
Some of the Qurans. What happens
I have
is
a copy.
these Quran.
Yeah, I know,
I
it's
like
very hard
this
to
for a reason because this has some frequently asked question in the beginning, so that
I'll be glad
might
to look at
answer
it.
some of the questions you have in your mind. Okay.
That's a deal.
Yeah, you see,
Thank you. I'll be
there's
glad
some
to look at it.
questions, and also
I will look at it.
we were talking
Thank you.
about extremists, right?
About
what
what?
we were talking about some bad Muslims.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So
well,
so what they
they're
do
bad,
is
everybody.
yeah, what they do is they take one verse from here out of context,
Yeah.
and then religiously ignorant young Muslims, they just want, in order to recruit them, they say, you see what God says, but
I know.
this verse is only applicable in the battlefield. You understand?
Yes,
So,
I know.
yeah.
Taking things out of context is very
Yeah.
common, and
So this is why I like this translation, because it gives a title what this verse are talking about.
yeah.
So you don't misunderstand.
Okay.
Some translations are plain translation. If you don't know about Islam, you might misunderstand one or two verse. But this one is
Good,
I will take a look at it, and I thank you.
no
And,
problem. That's a
it's very
gift
nice
from
meeting
us.
you both.
If you don't mind, just one comment.
Okay.
My professor used to say, the claim that when we say there are no truths, there's a contradiction in the statement itself. Because by claiming, there is no truth,
You
that
were
means
claiming you
you're
were true.
claiming that this
You were
statement
right.
is truth.
Yes, I
So
think
you
that
say
is-
there should be a truth because this kind of statement itself
The
contradicts.
question is,
Well, how
are
do you
we?
explain that every major religion thinks they have the truth? Are you saying
Because-
that only one is right?
No,
and the
no,
others
So
are
that's a
no,
good
no.
point, yeah.
So
No, I don't
no. We
There's
have
easy
we have
answer
a
to
nice
say.
answer there too.
Yes.
For example, we don't believe those are multiple religions. We believe all of them by origin are same religion.
Okay.
For example, let's say I'm explaining to you. Let's say, do you have a pen? No.
My walk is being.
Yeah.
No,
right.
1 minute.
Give me 2 minutes.
2 minutes. Okay,
minutes,
good,
yeah,
good.
okay.
Let's say it's a pen.
Okay.
In English, it's called pen.
Right.
In Arabic, it's called qalam. Maybe in Hebrew, it's something like
I
that.
don't know what it's called.
Okay. In my language, it's a different word.
Right.
But no matter what you call it, it's the same thing, right?
Of course.
So it's the people's way of explaining same thing in different way. So similarly, what we believe is by origin, in the origin or in the beginning, God gave humanity one religion. That is submit to God, obey God,
Right.
obedience to God.
Right.
But then, and God also sent prophets and messengers to every nation. When humanity started spreading from one family, Adam and Eve, different areas, they got disconnected from the center.
Right.
So they adopted some misunderstanding. They started explaining wrongly. So God chose the best person among them as a messenger, and he carried the true message of God.
Okay.
So all the messengers, whether it's Buddha or whether it's Muhammad or Jesus or Moses, they came to different group of people to carry the same message from God. So we believe all the prophets and messengers actually preach the same message. People name that message into their own language, into their own understanding.
Right.
So we don't think that Jesus preached one thing, Moses preached another thing, Buddha preached another
So
thing.
you don't think Islam is a superior religion
No.
to any other religion?
No, what we believe is, you remember that I mentioned the religion of God is that we obey Him, obedience to God.
Yeah.
That's actually the word Islam means. Islam means Islam is not Mohammedanism. Islam means submission, submission to God.
Submit,
So
peaceful
when you
submission.
submit yourself to God, means you agree to obey God. That means Islam. So it's not Mohammedanism. It's not something else. You don't have to say it Islam, but if you understand that obedience of God is the main religion of God, the same message was
And if you
Right.
if you open
Yeah.
Here, yes.
30
Verse 3.
the chapter 36 verse 16, it
Okay.
says we sent God to every nation with
Oh,
one single
okay.
message
Okay.
to obey
You will
and
see
worship
chapter 3 verse 19. It says the only religion approved by God, sent by God, is submission.
Listen, I don't want to be rude.
No,
I
of
wanna
course.
walk.
Yes.
Are you going to be here for a while?
yeah we can
I'll
find
see you on the road.
Yeah, no problem.
and
Thank
you'll
you.
find
Thanks.
this yeah
Nice
I will
talking
be
to you,
glad
and
to read the beginning of your
yeah,
song.
yeah.
That's very kind of you.
Yeah,
thank you
Thank
very
you.
much.
Yeah,
Yeah,
appreciate
you're
for
welcome.
talking.
Yeah, bye. Did you record?